Chapter number 6, Life Processes. It is a biological chapter, and in this chapter we are going to see the systems which are present in our body, plant body, everything we are going to see over there. How do we tell the difference between what is alive and what is not alive? Means living things and non-living things we have learned. Yes or no? If we see a dog is running or a cow chewing curd or a man shouting loudly on the street, we know that these are living beings. Why do we tell them as living beings? Because they are doing something there and you are noticing their actions. What if the dog or the cow or the man were asleep? We would still think that they were alive. When we are sleeping at that time also, though we are not doing action over there, but what we see? Some breathing movements are notified with us. Yes or no? And those notifications tells us that the dog or the man who are asleep is in action, means it is live because of breathing. What about plants? How do we know that plants are alive? Oftenly what we see, they are green, yes or no? But what about the plants that have leaves of colors other than greens? If the plants are not in greenish color, every plant leaf is green in color. No, some plants are there. They are having reddish leaves. Yes or no? They grow over the time. So we know that they are alive. Means not only the green color of plant tells us that they are alive, but plants every day it grows. Yes or no? So this is the indication of living beings. Some will say that plants are alive because of the growth. In other words, we tend to think of some sort of movements, either growth related movements or growth non-related movements. Yes or no? What are growth related movements? Growth related movements are there. The plants that is not visibly growing, still alive, but some animals can breathe without visible movement. So using visible movement as the defining characteristic of life is not enough. Movements over very small scales will be invisible to the naked eyes. Movements of molecules, for example, is this invisible molecular movement necessary for life? If we ask these questions to professional biologists, they will say yes, because movements are there. In fact, viruses do not show any molecular movement in them until they infect some cell, because you have seen that now COVID-19 we are facing, yes or no? These viruses, they are present outside the body. Though they are present outside the body, but they are not in the motion, yes or no? They do not show any motion there. But when they enter in our body, they infect some cell, at that time they divides and redivides, and we face some diseases. So after entering in the body, viruses show their movements, and that is partly why there is a controversy about whether they are truly alive or not. Means viruses are truly alive outside the body. Some would say no, but who is outside the body, that virus when enters in the body, it becomes live. Understood? Why are molecular movements needed for life? We have seen in earlier classes that living organisms are well organized structures. They can have tissues. Tissues have cells. Cells have smaller components in them, and so on. Because of the effects of the environment, this organized, ordered nature of living structures is very likely to keep breaking down over time. If order breaks down, the organism will no longer be alive. So, living creatures must keep repairing and maintaining their structures. If the virus means COVID-19 we are facing, why I am taking that example? Because we are taking the virus example. So, if it is present 4 to 5 days outside the body, it will not be alive. So, for some time it is live, and in between this aliveness, if it enters into the body, again it divides, redivides, and you can face the disease. So living creatures must keep repairing and maintaining their structures. Since all these structures are made up of molecules, and they must move molecules around at that time. What are the maintenance processes in living organisms? What are the life processes? Some processes are there. Those processes are known as maintenance processes in the living organisms. Now we will see what are the life processes. The maintenance functions of living organisms must go on even when they are not doing anything particular. Even when we are just sitting in the class, even if we are just asleep, the maintenance job has to go on, yes or no? Though we are asleep at the same time, you will see some processes, digestion, respiration, excretion means not outside the body, but the process is going on, filtering and all these things. It is going on in the body. These processes which together perform this maintenance job are life processes. Circulation, circulatory systems process. It is also carried on, though we are in asleep. So, these processes are known as maintenance processes. Since these maintenance processes are needed to prevent damage and breakdown, energy is needed for them. So energy is required for the body to go on these processes, yes or no? Without energy, these processes are not being run. And this energy comes from outside the body of the individual organisms by food. So, there must be a process to transfer a source of energy from outside the body of the organism, which we'll call food, to the inside. A process we commonly call nutrition. By taking food we get energy, we know, everyone knows. And this is known as nutrition. So, nutrients should be required for the body to run the processes. If the body size of the organism is to grow, additional raw material will also be needed from outside. And since life of Earth depends on carbon-based molecules, you have seen Earth life is dependent on carbon-based molecules. Most of these food sources are also carbon-based. Carbohydrates are present. Depending on the complexity of these carbon sources, different organisms can then use different kinds of nutritional processes. So, many organisms, they show different kind of nutritional processes. Yes or no? Amoebas process, nutrition. Then human beings, animals, plants. These nutritional processes are different. These nutritional processes of these organisms are different. The outside sources of energy could be quite varied. Food sources are carbon based. and the nutritional process of different organisms are different one. Yes or no? If you will see, the nutritional process of amoeba is different from animal, means tiger, lion, human beings, plants. If you will compare nutritional process of those, they are different one. The outside sources of the energy could be quite varied. Since the environment is not under the control of the individual organisms, and these sources of energy therefore need to be broken or built up in the body and must be finally converted to uniform source of energy that can be used for the various molecular movements needed for the maintaining living structures as well as the kind of molecules the body needs to grow. For growth, body needs some nutrients, and for that purpose nutritional process should be carried on. Yes or no? And for this, a series of chemical reactions in the body are necessary. Oxidizing, reducing reactions are some of the most commonly chemical means to break down the molecules. For this, many organisms use oxygen source from outside the body. The process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body and to use it in the process of breakdown of food sources for cellular needs is what we call respiration. Now we are going to see respiration, the process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body. We inhale oxygen, and this oxygen is used for the process of breakdown of food sources for cellular needs, and that is called as respiration. In the case of single-celled organism like amoeba, no specific organs are there for taking food. Exchange of gases or removal of waste may be needed because the entire surface of organism is in contact with the environment. But what happens when the body size of organism increases and the body design becomes more complex? In multicellular organisms, all the cells may not be in direct contact with the surrounding environment. Thus, simple diffusion will not meet the requirements of the cells. By diffusion process, gas exchanges, yes or no, means you have seen the respiration process, you know respiratory system, through lungs we respire, and diffusion of gases are taken place in the lungs, alveoli, yes or no, and the requirements of the cells, for the requirement of the cells, oxygen is carried out through blood capillaries via blood, yes or no. We have seen previously how the multicellular organisms, various body parts have specialized in the functions they perform. In amoeba, single-celled animal, there is no a specific system to carry out respiration, excretion, or nutrition, digestion of food. No. But in multicellular organisms, there are various body parts have specialized functions they perform. We are familiar with the idea of those specialized tissues and with their organization in the body of the organism. It is therefore not surprising that the uptake of food and of oxygen will also be the function of specialized tissues. However, these possess a problem. Since the food and the oxygen are now taken up at one place in the body of the organism, while all parts of the body need them, yes or no? Through nostrils we take oxygen, and this oxygen is carried out each and every part of the body. While all parts of the body need them, those means that oxygen, and this situation creates a need for a transportation system. So this oxygen which we have taken by nostrils into the lungs, this oxygen is carried out via blood. Why? This blood capillaries, blood is a transportation system for carrying food and oxygen from one place to another in the body. So blood is required. When chemical reaction use the carbon source and the oxygen for energy generation, they create byproducts that are not only useless for the cells of the body but could even be harmful. These waste byproducts are therefore needed to be removed from the body and discarded outside by a process of excretion. You have seen that. Digestive system. Yes or no? Through digestion systems you have seen. First of all, what we take? Ingestion. Ingestion means taking the food from outside in the body. Yes or no? Then absorption, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. These are the process we have seen. In this process, a specific function is there. Yes or no? And in assimilation means to assimilate the nutrients via blood into the body. Yes or no? And egestion means the waste material are discarded from the body through excretion process. Again, if the basic rules for the body design in multicellular organisms are followed, specialized tissue for excretion will be developed, which means that the transportation system will need to transport waste away from the cells to the excretory tissue. Yes or no? So, specialized tissues are present in each and every system. These tissues are different from each other. If you will see respiratory system tissues, digestive system tissues, excretory system tissues, otherwise circulatory system tissues, blood, those cells, those tissues are different. A group of cells is called as tissue. Yes or no? So these cells are different one. Their functions are also different. And according to the functions, the cells are there. Yes or no? So you have seen the essential to maintain the life. Now, here some questions I have given. Why is diffusion insufficient to meet the oxygen requirements of multicellular organisms like humans? What criteria do we use to decide whether something is alive? Means living things. Their characteristics we have to mention over there. Why you? Means growth related movements are seen, reproduction is seen, they can breathe, they can move from one place to another place. Those are the characteristics which we studied earlier in earlier standards. Yes or no? Those we have to mention over here. Now next thing is, what are outside raw materials used by an organism? Which raw materials are used by an organism? Raw materials, inorganic materials like oxygen, an organism, living organism can use. Then a living organism, if you will see plants, they use some minerals, water. Yes or no? Organism also required, means like human beings, animals, they require water also. Yes or no? So many, you can see those raw materials and can write down, and you can write down it. What processes would you consider essential for maintaining life? If you wanted to maintain your life, what processes would you consider maintaining life? If you wanted to maintain some life processes are considered, means those life processes, nutrition, digestion, excretion, circulation. In the questions you can solve these whole 4 questions. Yes or no? Raw materials, outside raw materials which are used for organism. Third question you can write down. Then processes would you consider essential for maintaining life? Nutritional process, then circulatory system process. Those processes you can write out there. Excretory system, circulatory system, transportation system. These are the systems which present in our body to carry on. These processes are essential for maintaining life, we have seen. Living beings criteria means characteristics you have to write down over here. So these are the questions you have to solve at home. Now we are going to see nutrition process. When we walk or ride a bicycle, we are using up energy. Even when we are not doing any apparent activity, energy is needed to maintain a state of order in our body. We also need materials from outside in order to grow, develop, synthesize protein and other substances needed in the body. This source of energy and materials is the food we eat. How we get energy? We get energy through food because we eat food. If we eat food, then only we get energy. Yes or no? So, food is important to get energy. How do living things get their food then? The general requirement for energy and materials is common in all organisms, but it is fulfilled in different ways. Some organisms use simple food material obtained from inorganic sources in the form of carbon dioxide and water. These organisms means which use their own food, which prepare their own food. They are known as autotrophs. Yes or no? Because what they do, they obtain their food material from inorganic sources in the form of carbon dioxide and water. Yes or no? Because minerals, water, sunlight, then carbon dioxide, they do photosynthesis, and from the photosynthesis they get their food material, their own. So they are known as autotrophs because they prepare their own food. Include green plants and some bacteria. Some bacteria are also autotrophs. Other organisms utilize complex substances. These complex substances have to be broken down into simpler ones before they can be used for the upkeep and the growth of the body. To achieve this, organisms use biocatalysts called enzymes. Yes or no? Some organisms, what they use? Biocatalyst. So, some enzymes are present in our digestive juice. Yes or no? And those enzymes, what they do? They broke down complex substances into simple substances during the digestion process. Yes or no? So this process run out fast. To achieve this, organisms use biocatalysts called enzymes. Thus, the heterotroph's survival depends directly or indirectly on autotrophs. Heterotrophic organisms include animals and fungi. Animals are heterotrophic because animals are depend on herbs, shrubs, means plants, and animals also some, because animals are omnivores. Yes or no? So they depend on herb shrubs. Some animals are depend on herb shrubs, they are known as herbivores. And some animals are present on herbivores as well as animals, some other animals, those are known as omnivores. Yes or no? And carnivores means some animals which are depend on only on another animals. They don't eat herbs. Those are known as carnivores. So all these three types, they are heterotrophic organisms. Herbivores, herbivores, omnivores. So they include animals. So heterotrophic are animals and fungi, and autotrophic are plants and some bacteria, not all. So first part, autotrophic nutrition we are going to see. So there are the two types of nutrition, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition, by photosynthesis, plants prepare their own food. This is autotrophic nutrition. We will see now. Carbon and energy requirements of the autotrophic organism are fulfilled by photosynthesis. It is the process by which autotrophs take in substances from outside and convert them into stored forms of the energy. This material is taken in the form of carbon dioxide and water, which is converted into carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigment, which is present in the plant cell. Yes or no? Chloroplasts are present, and in the chloroplast, chlorophyll substance is present. Carbohydrates are utilized for providing energy to the plant. We will study how this takes place in the next section. The carbohydrates which are not used immediately are stored in the form of starch, which serves as the internal energy reserve to be used as and when required by the plant. A somewhat similar situation is seen in us, where some of the energy derived from the food we eat is stored in our body in the form of glycogen. Some energy is derived from the food we eat. Means some food what we eat, energy is derived. And it is stored in the form of ATP molecules in mitochondria. You know that well. Yes or no? It is present in the form of glycogen. Understood? Here photosynthesis is given. 6CO2 plus 12H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigment, glucose C6H12O6, oxygen 6O2 plus water is formed. Here photosynthesis reaction is given. This reaction is very important for examination's sake. 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives out C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O, and on arrow you have to write down chlorophyll and sunlight, because in presence of chlorophyll pigment and sunlight this reaction is done. That is why it is known as photosynthesis. Photo is related with sunlight. Yes or no? Let us now see what actually happens during the process of photosynthesis. What happens? The first of all, the events occurred during the process are absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. First of all, by chlorophyll pigment, a green pigment which is present in the chloroplast in the leaves of the plant. It absorbs the light energy. Conversion of light energy to chemical energy and splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. These steps need not take place one after the other immediately. For example, desert plants take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by the chlorophyll during the day. Let us see how each of the components of the above reaction are necessary for photosynthesis. Here a diagram is shown. Leaves are shown. Yes or no? And cross section of leaf is also shown, in which chloroplasts are present. Greenish colored pigments are shown. Epidermis of the leaves is also shown. air spaces which are present in the cells, guard cells, everything it is shown here. And we will see that if you carefully observe the cross section of a leaf under the microscope, you will notice that some cells contain green dots. These green dots are cell organelles called as chloroplasts, which contain chlorophyll pigment. Let us do an activity which is essential for the photosynthesis process. Here activity is given. Take a potted plant with variegated